We got a super thanks to get things started from CJ DeYoung III. The only thing I have confidence in regarding the Joneses is their ability to completely F-S up. I'm sure you guys can follow the emojis there. It's also 10 seconds into the video. I don't want to start swearing immediately today. Thank you. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate that. General angst over the Jones boys is certainly not unique to CJ and not unique on this mailbag, as we'll get into. Also from CJ, this is on my Stephen Jones sucks short, which I enjoyed saying. Just says, preach Tom, thanks. And then KW, a similar sentiment, says thanks as well. Whatever your super thanks message is, we will show it on the show. It is a feature on YouTube, allows you to donate outside a live show. It's just like a super chat, but it's on demand. Get your messages in. Even if it's Tom, you suck. As long as you're not committing an ism, we will get it on the show. Buddy Ant 0215, will the OC help Shotty with scheme? Be the plan. As of filming, no hire made. We'll see. Probably not too long away from that. Might even get one in before this mailbag cut even goes out, frankly. I think run game focus will be the main thing, which I think is a positive because I didn't like the run game scheme last year. I think getting someone with a bit of a more creative, unique run game schematics, I think would be a benefit to this Cowboys team. The username is the username. We'll just say it's FJB. Our coaching staff is not much different from our front office. We have a bunch of nobodies, has-beens, and never wases. But the wheels come off next year rather quickly, and Jones having to explain himself. The wheels came off quickly last year, too. And he kind of didn't really explain himself. So I get in general the angst about this Cowboys team. Of the hires made so far, I don't mind them, actually. I think Eberflus is a quality DC hire. The Jones boys connection is a bit annoying to me, but in a bubble, it's a fine hire. Dave Borgonzi makes sense. Andre Curtis makes sense. I like the Jets defensive line coach, Aaron Whitecotton, that you brought over. Nick Sorensen as special teams coordinator makes me go, That one worries me a little bit. You were downgraded no matter what from Bones Fossil. A lot of it still rides on Schottenheimer in the end. A $25 super thanks from Corruption Afton. Thank you, Afton. I'm still questioning the coach's decision on Brian Schottenheimer. Don't know who that is. But honestly, the Cowboys straight up for Ashton Jeanty, who's already taken, stay at the 12th pick in the first round, draft Luther Burden, or take Sherrod Carey's not person. I think he means Shavon Revel would be my guess on the autocorrect there, Afton. Let's be more honest here. The Cowboys should have me as a head coach. I don't know about that one either, but it's funny and I appreciate it. I think I don't want to trade up for a back. You're light on draft capital as it is. A running back has never put a team over the top. Maybe it does in Philadelphia, which would be kind of painfully ironic for me. But if you just stamp pat and take Burden at 12, or if you trade down and take one of Burden and Ibuka, I'm on board with that idea. I think that's actually a sound plan. Now, who do you want to draft in round one? No wrong answers. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. From Jotman, hey Tom, sorry if you've answered this already. Is there any reason the Micah extension isn't done yet? The Cowboys went to the sign now, or is there a date we have to wait for? You could have signed Micah a year ago. You have to have 3 accrued seasons, which in most cases just 3 years playing. If you're hurt or a practice squad guy, you don't get the accrued years. That's how RFAs happen and not just outright free agency. But you can pay Micah whenever you want to. The date I have my eye on is week 1. Or not week 1, day 1 of free agency. If it's not done by then, you're missing out on a chance to make your roster better because you're carrying a large cap hit that you can't do anything with. Once you pay Micah, just like you did when you paid Lamb, all of a sudden you're going to get like $15, $18 million of salary cap space open. So not doing it last offseason, I would have preferred, but so be it. It's fine. Now you have to get it done before free agency, or else you're just missing out on an opportunity. Steven GX. I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys got Joshua Farmer from Florida. I think Florida State is where he's at. He showed out at the Senior Bowl. FSU, I'll be honest, ended up being lower on my priority watch list this year because they were bad. So unlike last year when I was like, yeah, this FSU guy's really good, this guy's really good, I was like, hey, let's dial things back here. Wanye Thomas's brother, the corner, Azarie Thomas, is also very good. Got my eye on him. Patrick Clayton was a pretty colossal disappointment, but they've got some good players. And Farmer, I think, is day 3. We'll see. Pick along the D line. I'm down. Freddie, does no McCarthy mean Amari can return? I don't know. I wouldn't get my hopes necessarily. I don't think that it wasn't just a Mike thing. There were other issues in that organization from the front office. They let things get personal with Amari. And I don't know if those bridges are fully healed. Now, Amari is not the same player he was in his prime. I think we have to acknowledge that. The age and the injuries have kind of caught up with him. But if you can get him on a cheaper one-year deal, I'm not opposed to that either. So would you bring back Amari Cooper? I'm not paying that $20 million, though, right? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. TG Collects. Let me get to some more super chats here. Heard some people say that to cut Diggs and sign us all corner to save some money. What do you think about that? You don't save any money by cutting Diggs. His contract is guaranteed for injury. Now, if you don't want to touch Diggs' money and keep the salary cap number the way it is, okay, that's fine. There is an argument to, if he's going to be on your contract, on your books, you might as well restructure it because it saves you money in the short term, and $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. That argument I get. If you're very worried about Diggs overall, probably just leave it as is and see how things play out, and maybe get some salary cap insurance back with the unique stuff going on there these days. But you're not going to save money cutting Diggs. You want to sign a veteran insurance policy? I'm fine there too. Smallsy Mom, I'm doing it to CBG88s, by the way. Thoughts on Mike Green? Where is he on your board? That is the Michigan pass rusher. He's really good. The edge rushing class in general is flavors of ice cream. Like, do you like Micah Williams? Do you like James Pierce? At least outside of Abdul Carter. Do you like a Mike Green? Where do all those guys kind of slot in for you? I think is a valid question. I like Green a lot. He's not going to have like a top 10 grade for me. He'll probably have a back end of round 1 grade for me. And with the amount of those grades I'm going to have, when we get to the Cowboys on the clock, and it's the best 5 players, Mike Green will probably be among them. Granted, do I want to spend another premium pick on an edge? I don't know. I have Marshawn Yellen. I have Micah Parsons. That's a lot of investment, but he's a very good football player. Go watch that Ohio State game. He played really well. CBG88 says, you see the Cowboys. That's not on there, but he commented in a reply. Cowboys using the tag on Osa. The franchise tag for Osa is like $22 or $23 million. So no, I did look that up because I wanted to, I was like, should you do it? No, it's too much money. Not the tag, but you might have a bidding war on your hands if he hits free agency, though. But I don't think a tag is a good idea. Kind of what the Dolphins did with Christian Wilkins in the end. Today's show is made possible by GameTime. GameTime's got a new feature. It's called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. It filters out all the fluff to only show you the incredible deals on great seats. So don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. It is curation to save you more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and everything else in between. Always keep an eye out for the super deal. It is the best value for any given event. You can find a really fantastic deal and save some money on great seats. It's what the super deal is built for. You can get the Game Time guarantee for every purchase as well. Game Time guarantee is this. You find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app today. Create your account. Redeem code CHATSPORTS Chat Sports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create your account. Redeem code Chat Sports for $20 off over at GameTime.co. Day TV. Who's you like to pair with CD from free agency as well as the draft? If you want to spend I'll give you a bigger name, cheaper name, early round name, later round name. If you want to spend some more money in free agency, someone like a Trevon Diggs and Amari Cooper in a dream, the impossible world is Chris Godwin. I don't think that happens, by the way. Those names are a bit more expensive. If you want to go cheaper, you're probably looking for archetyped. And I don't know how expensive a Darius Slayton would be, but getting that speedy outside receiver I think would actually be beneficial to you. You want to spend a round 1 pick? Luther Burden I think fits really well as a YAC guy you don't really have. If you want to wait till day 2, I'm intrigued by a bigger body on the outside in a Trey Harris and Elika Ayomanor. If you want to gamble in the 3rd round, Um, maybe Torrey Horton falls to you. And I don't think Shavon Williams is going to fall down that far for you. Gets a little thin for me in the wide receiver core, in the wide receiver class after those first 10 or so guys. It's kind of why I think if you're adding a number 2, probably should come in the first 2, maybe 3 rounds. Now, we'll have more coverage for you here on the Cowboys Report, so make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Dwayne Jackson, with the shoddy hire, do you think it was a last resort because of the lack of coaching search? Knowing how Jerry operates, it doesn't matter who they interview. Most likely they would say no. Still conflicting info as to if Kellen Moore told the Cowboys no or not, or if that was this isn't really what I want, this isn't really what you want, we'll go our separate ways. Kind of sounds like to an extent they went into the process of we want Schottenheimer to call the plays no matter what, which, again, that's just backwards. That's kind of why your options were like Robert Saleh and Leslie Frazier. I wish you'd interviewed like Anthony Weaver and Mike McDonald, but a lot of coaches don't want to have their first job be we're sticking you with this OC that hasn't called plays in 4 years. I even wonder if potentially, this is all speculation, I wonder if they were like, yeah, Kellen, you want to come and also make Shotty the OC, which I think is actually probably like the wrong spot for both those guys if you have to organize them. Like I just think that they kind of went in wanting Shotty on the staff, and the result became the result. Matt Hervey, I think we got Shiloh on day 3 despite the Senior Bowl practices. If it's late day 3, who cares? I don't think Shiloh's going to be some instant starter at safety. I don't think he's going to be anything near what his dad was. I think he can carve out a back end of an NFL roster role. Maybe he can be a special teamer for you. But he was rough in the Kansas State game in particular. He got better as the year went on, though. I think he's a backup safety in the NFL. So day 3, sure, wouldn't surprise me either. CJ 0K, like the 2K. Agree with Cam on Tank. He's in a good arch. I assume you mean Cam Newton. And I say this with all due respect. Cam Newton has no idea what he's talking about. Cam Newton is the ultimate, I'm just going to say outlandish stuff to get attention and be a part of ESPN. Like that's he's doing the stupid former player playbook of let me have an outlandish take to get attention. Nothing that he said made any sense. Same with his argument of I'd rather have an MVP than a Super Bowl, which I'm not taking that mindset. His argument was like, I want to be remembered as a legendary player, and the MVP helps me do that. Bro, a kicker won NFL MVP one time. Like, who cares? People remember Eli Manning, not Philip Rivers. Not the Rivers won MVP, but you guys know what I mean. How many games will the Cowboys win in 2025? I think your team's too talented to actually tank out. I mean, you saw it this year. They still won 7 games. They were injured as all get out. I think even in a down year, I don't think it's going to be actually range for the number 1 overall pick. So how many games do they win? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. King Carroll, what's Dak's injury timeline for the offseason? Should be good to go well before off-season workouts get going. He's been off the crutches. He's been able to walk around freely, all that stuff. So if this injury had happened at like the beginning of the season, he might have been able to come back, frankly. They might have been able to push that timeline there. But the middle of the year, it was not going to be feasible. But he'll be good to go well before the season begins. Lucid Chart, I think the Cowboys should trade the 12th overall pick. Should they take someone? Depends on who's on the board for me. If there's a really good player, if there's a guy that I love, if I'm down to 1 first-round grade or 2 first-round grades, I'm going to take that guy. If I get picked over a little bit and there's top guys on my board are gone and I got like Burden and Ibuka and Golden and all those receivers, like, okay, I can trade down 5 spots and see what happens, like they did with the Guyton pick. But if there's a true first-round grade on the board at number 12 and it's my last one, just take him.